Alright, dog dangers to avoid in the summer heat. Now I know I love to hike in the summer. It's beautiful, nice sunny day. And there's a lot of things that I have to take in precautions to keep my body cool and make sure I don't overheat. But what about the dog? What's he going through? And does he deal with the heat just as easily as we do? In this video, we're going to talk about those things, and we're going to go over the precautions you can take and the signs you can see if your dog is going through excessive heat. Dog dangers to avoid in the summer heat. This is a big topic, and I want to strictly just focus on summer and as far as the heat goes, because it's a bit of a concern, and this is something that I do see in the parks quite a bit. And me and Beth both have experiences of running into some really unfortunate incidents where the dogs are either near death or have passed away because of it. So we're going to break down, and I'm going to go through some of the factors here, and let's go ahead and start. So number one is when you're in your car, you might be getting out of a hike, and your dog's already hiked quite a bit, and you want to go and head on over to the grocery store and get yourself a nice Gatorade, or maybe you want to get a sandwich. It's been a rough day on the trails, and you want to just reward yourself with some awesomeness. Now, the grocery store ain't going to let Fido in there because of, insurance policies and liabilities and blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. And you're going to say to yourself, you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to leave it in the car. Hey, why not? When it gets hot, 65 to about 75 and beyond, the temperatures in a car are drastically different than they are outside. And Fido, I know a lot of you guys already know this. A lot of people are already educated on this. But even if you roll down your windows, you're still dealing with some major issues with heat. So if it's 70 degrees, it's 104 outside. And it varies between the minutes. So 10 minutes it's 89, 30 minutes 104. Now if you're spending 30 minutes in the grocery store to get a sandwich, it could happen. You could be in a line, some issue. The 75, it's 94 in 10 minutes and 109 in 30 minutes. And let's go all the way down. We're going to hit 95 degrees. 95 degrees. Now here in the Danville area, Alamo area, Livermore, I mean, it goes up in the triple digits. We have times where it's 105, 110. Rare occasions will be 115. So you need to be aware of this. So it's 95 degrees outside. It's going to be 114 degrees in the car in 10 minutes. It's going to be 129 in 30 minutes. Okay? So Fido ain't going to make it. Dogs aren't like us. We sweat. It's your body basically reacting to the conditions of the heat, and you're sweating and losing large amounts of water and salt. But your body will sweat. Fido don't do that. He does it a little bit in the paws, but for the most part, Fido's only way of doing that is panting. So excessive breathing, and that's going to help try to cool down Fido's body. But when you got hot temperatures like that, and there's no air circulation coming into the car, even if your windows are slightly, down or whatever, it's going to cause for a real bad problem, and it can definitely even lead to death of your dog. So always make sure if you've got Fido in the car that the temperatures are real low, and we're talking 60 degrees or even lower, because he can possibly die, and you don't want your family pet to go down. If you have any considerations, take Fido back home and then go get a sandwich. So take in mind all those temperatures and what they mean after a certain amount of time. Here's the other one. Asphalt. Asphalt is the same thing. It's basically like a stovetop oven here. It's like a stovetop, and it's heating up. To us, we don't feel it because we have shoes on or sandals or whatever we're interested in using. But to a dog, it is like basically going over hot coals. And what it will do is it will start sizzling up and eat away at that tissue that they have for their paws, and then get into the raw tissue itself. And it's pretty disgusting pictures that I've seen of incidents of this happening. But your dog's a very loyal animal, unlike a cat, who's kind of a bit of a diva. I don't know what happened when they made cats, but a dog is pretty loyal. Now, for the most part, or most dogs generally. But a dog, on the other hand, is really loyal, and a dog will do anything for its owners. It'll cross that hot path or to get to the other side because you've called it over. Let's go through the temperatures that you're going to have in asphalt, and that's going to dramatically go up depending on what the temperature is. So if it's 77 degrees outside, it's going to be 125 in asphalt, and then if it's 86, 135, and if it's 87, 143. Take that into account, 87, 143 degrees. So if it's 100 degrees outside or 95, it's even higher. That could do some serious stuff. I think it's like 130 or 135 degrees. You can fry an egg, okay, in 5 minutes. So you're doing the same thing to your dog. Now they do sell these little booties that you can get for your dogs. I'm not sure how well they work. You want to ask the professionals over there at your local pet store to get more information on that. But I do know people that do wear them, and they do work pretty effectively. Also, there's a 7-second test. You put your hand on the asphalt for 7 seconds. If you release your hand off the asphalt before that 7 seconds, probably not a good idea that your dog's on the asphalt. You can tell right off the bat, your dog's going to be feeling that same heat. You don't want to do that to poor old Fido. Come on, he's loyal to you, for crying out loud. Cause some serious damage to the paws, and it happens all the time. People do it all the time, and they're not aware. And especially on the Iron Horse Trail we have here, that's black asphalt there. And it's just going to take a small amount of time before it's frying up Fido's paws. Eventually they'll start whelping or whining because they're going through some serious heat. So pick Fido up and get Fido across the way, or find another alternative route. You're not going to be getting it too much in soil or with grass. It still can kind of be that way a little bit, but with soil and grass, it's a whole different story. I mean, grass it's cooling everything, plus it's got a lot of water supply inside the soil, so you're not going to find that to be a bit of an issue. But if you're dealing with a lot of rock and stuff that's exposed to the heat, yes, you can deal with the same issue. Here's the other big factor. Now, years ago, I ran into some younger lads. They were out there hiking around in the Sierras, and the Sierras gets really hot. It's high desert. We were about 8,000 feet up in the Sierras, and we had come out from a lake, and these young guys were going along, and they had a what did they have? They had a Rottweiler with them. That's a big dog. It's a big dog, carries heavy. It's got smaller legs on it. So what happened was they were up there, and the dog was completely down on the ground, was panting excessively. It was a big, serious issue. And usually when the dog's panting a lot, or you start seeing steam coming off the dog, or it's excessively drinking water, that's a big issue. Well, the dog was so out of it, he was not even taking the water we were trying to supply him. Eventually he did, and we were trying to cool the dog down. So I don't know if the dog got out of there. We gave all the water we possibly could to help these guys out, and told them strongly to not continue your trek, get the dog in the river. Cool that dog's body down, wait here for a few hours if need be. Beth had a situation where she was on a trail. This younger gentleman was out there with his dog. It was a very hot day. It was probably high 90s, and, well, the dog didn't make it. So a lot of people don't bring enough water for their dog. They don't think and consider that. I know a lot of these creeks and streams and stuff like that seem to be really appealing, but there is some stuff in there that you want to watch out for. A lot of cattle come through here, so as much as it's not good for you, it's probably not good for Fido either, although their stomachs are a little bit more immune to it than we are, but still it's something to consider. So pack enough water for Fido as well. Get him out there, pack enough water, bring a little bowl. They sell the stuff at pet stores, so Fido will be able to have enough in himself to go, okay, well, I can, you're going to consistently keep him hydrated as well. And look out for a lot of those key signs: excessive panting, steam coming off the body when they're really hot, excessive drinking of water, going to the bathroom, their stools are bloody, vomiting. These are all stuff that you need to keep an eye on for, and if you need to, if it's an extreme situation, you need to get that dog to a vet as soon as possible. If you love Fido, you gotta back Fido up too, as much as a loyal dog. So during the summer, always make sure that you keep all this stuff in perspective, and be cautious with the dog as much as you are yourself, because it's a lot of stuff that goes on out there that people are not aware of. The other thing that I will talk about, and it's not really much to do with the heat. I know ticks is another big issue, but it's a hard one to deal with. Is these foxtails? Tyler talked about this, and these guys get up to the dog's noses. They go right in there, and they go in real easy, and they're really hard to get out. And they can see that it's like this goes up a dog's nose. I mean, what are we dealing with? I can't pull like that, right? So they carry these little masks that I've seen people put on their dogs. And that really helps. But that's a really good thing to consider. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching the channel. And if you can, hit that little bell right there. If you hit that bell, gives you all the notifications you want. And like, subscribe, comment down below. You guys got some other awesome tips to talk about. Probably wondering what this tree is behind me. This is a madrone. Not the best example because it's starting to die, but native Californians just like myself. Dude. All right, let's cut the cheese. Every time with the plane. Every time with the airplanes. The buckeyes are really flowering out here. This is a secret trail. It's not even on the map. It is on Google and it's on all trails. It must be official. No, it's pretty hidden trail. I gotta keep it secret. Gosh. What the heck happened to unlimited supply of chocolate chip cookies and brownies at 10:30 at night?